Green Jeans Garden, PLC. Green Jeans Garden, LED. Green Jeans Garden, PLC.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. And welcome back to Ground Zero, before the beginning of a new run. So everything I need to do to get ready for a run has been done. I am finally to the point where I can just plug some clones, which I have, and get going. So this is a beautiful time. So everything's been cleaned, sterilized, scrubber socks washed, fans scrubbed, completely bug bombed twice, bug and mildew, mold and mildew kind of thing. Repainted some floors, have already gotten those dirty. Just filling this up right here, and now have my Easy grow bags. These are 1.5 gallon grow bags, set and ready to go. And like I said, I'm just ready to drop some plants in here. So I wanted to do one walkthrough before I put some plants in here, just show you guys everything that's going on. I have some new lights in here since the last walkthrough. I've changed like pump locations and a couple things. So now that we're here, now that we're in it, let's get to it. So what you're looking at here is two 4x4 trays, so essentially a 4x8 garden with some room to expand. The back wall is somewhat tight. We're about 4 inches off the back wall, but there's a 1.5 foot over here, and obviously plenty of space over here for some colas to expand as they need, but it's a 4x8 base. On that, these are two 4x4 tables, but it's one single 4x8 bench. I made it. It's simply just a wood frame. I'm using joist hangers to keep some cross members in there for support, and it's on some basic caster rollers. Makes it really nice for when I want to get around. It's not a ton of room, but it gives me enough room to get in the back. Ever since I put the new watering system, I don't have the flex pipe up there to really pull it off, so I'm not utilizing it as movable, but it is movable, and we'll get to that soon here. But it's a 4x8 garden, and I normally run in a setup like this. I usually run 9 plants per tray. Right now I'm only going to run 15 in the whole garden, so that's actually 9 and 6. But normally 9 and 9 is a full tray, or if I do bigger pots, I can make 6 work just fine. We'll see how this goes. It'll basically just be 3/4 of a garden. I have 2 basic circulatory fans. These are hurricane fans, basic, standard. And then out the exhaust, there is an 8-inch inline fan that's an AC Infinity that's controlled over here at the wall. I like it because it gives me 2 temperature kind of reference points between the AC Infinity and the Trollmaster, because Trollmaster drifts pretty bad, and this honestly isn't too great either, but AC Infinity gives me some fan control. And that is my only out, so I constantly have air. Whenever I need to exhaust, I have air pulling out. That creates a passive a negative pressure that's going to suck air in, and here is my 12x12 intake vent. It's a I've showed you guys, I made a little video on this. It's a darkroom vent for photograph darkroom, so it's meant to let air in, not so much light. Works really, really well. The whole room, from environmental to lights on and off, is controlled by Trollmaster. I had this running for, gosh knows how long, since they came out, before a lot of the products were out. Everything's controlled by Trollmaster, so we have temp, humidity, CO2, and then lights on and off, as well as intensity, so up, down, anywhere from 10 to 100%, and all the way down to off. That's kind of linked up through a Netgear wireless router, and so I can access it via the app anywhere because it's linked up to my my standard internet access. Now for the fun part, the irrigation. This was done last time, and have essentially migrated to a precision micro irrigation system where I am feeding from a reservoir. So I have water, or always actually nutrient solution, in the reservoir, and there is a pump, an inline pump where the water is flowing down, primes the pump, and the pump can shoot solution down the line through a filter and pressure regulator, 25 psi. down the line to 2 solenoids that control each zone being its 4x4 area. And what is control? And so that is it. So if there was nothing in the way and this pump was plugged in, it would just shove nutrients down, out. If those were open, out and down the line to the Netafim 17 millimeter line, and then half gallon per hour dripper stakes. This is a full assembly, comes with the stake, the 3 feet of line, and the little, the actual regulating dripper there. I do 2 of these per container for 1.5 gallons. And like I said, they each drip half gallon per hour, and usually for like 60 seconds, that gives me about 30 milliliters or so per dripper. It's pretty good. And then I can control each one of those zones if I wish, independently or at the same time. And that is all done by this GrowLink controller. It's really not too fancy in here, but what it is a couple relays and some AI that helps make crop steering and or irrigation decisions based on temperature, EC, and water content values. And really most of your decisions are being done off water content. So that's done with the sensor here. Really cool product. I got a good test run with it last time, and man, did it make automating, as well as not only automating, but automating how the pros would automate, how you'd automate in a true high performance garden that we can get this to. But even when it's not, it's nice to have just basic triggering watering. So if you want to water at 45%, as soon as that sensor hits 45%, it triggers the system. Now, granted, there's only 1 sensor here. I plan to get 2, 1 for each zone, but this controller can have up to 4. So you can have more sensors, more data, have more accuracy over it. But last time I had a pretty good idea, and they averaged out, pretty nice. I didn't have to compensate too much, so it was nice. Basic 70 pint dehu before we get out of here. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it is what it is. It's got to be done sometimes. So basic 70 pint, or I think they're 120 pint now, whatever. It's the biggest version from Ideal Air. I've tried a ton of other brands, but the Ideal Air just chugs along. It works for what it is. And then lastly, I am now running 2 Apache Tech lights in here. So Apache Tech is a brand that I worked with a long time ago. I'm good friends with the owner, and they started coming out with a I guess you would say kind of a budget-minded vertical system light, something that's obtainable for everyone. Apache Tech price was always up there, but they're built like tanks. Not too much different here. They're looking at they're looking at every aspect of it. They're saying, how can we implement what we know as far as output and spectral, what their spectrums are, because they've got a few of them. I don't know if you've noticed here, but these are slightly different lights, different diode counts, but overall general output the same. More red, but cooler blues. More whites, less reds over here, but it's a warmer white. There's a couple spectrums I have here that I have been fiddling around with behind the scenes for them and giving them some feedback. You'll see what they finally go with. It's actually closer to this, but nonetheless, Apache's been fiddling around saying what's going to work, how are we going to offer our Apache style lights in something that's cheap and obtainable. So these are 800 watts lights for $800, I think, $7.99, something like that. So super cheap, super obtainable, and like I said, 1800 or 800 watts, and gets up to like 21 or 2000 micromoles output. But at 600 watts is an 1800 micromole fixture, and those are for an indoor system like this. 1800 micromole output is pretty much about the limit I'm going to take in here. So that's it. So other than moving from production or DIY or my old Pacific Light Concepts based systems to a couple production LEDs, everything else in the system is the exact same as the last run. My last little thing is, it's a DC house pump. I like the C-Flow before. The C-Flow is not quiet. It's not loud, but it's not quiet. This is loud. Simple as that. This one's just loud in the C-Flow, and people complain about the C-Flow, so some of the knockoff brands are going to get what you get, but it works. All right, so that is it. Next time you guys see this room, it will have plants in it. It'll have nice little cuts, very healthy, beautiful. Got 15 of them. I'm trying to pick up 3 little stragglers of some other cuts I have just to throw in here. But we will get in here with some plants, show the beginning from starting the plugs, some IPM, and everything that's going to go along with it, because IPM is going to be the focus of this next little journey here. So if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you haven't already, and I appreciate your time stopping by, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.
Green Jeans Garden.